And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vignier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also... Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together, wherever she goes. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please...
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. A promise. We made a promise. Vignier. Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vache decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case. The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vache. According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vache is guilty.
Guards! Take Vache away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances cases.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld. Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's...
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end.
So she chose to make her escape after all.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the...
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Judge.
Thank you. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well?
Vache.
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache.
I'm here! Where are you, Vinier?
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't... You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache.
Wait, you are not Vinier.
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? But then, where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Vignier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache?
Vache.
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 Vache. Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journal?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. See, to be fair though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarande gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarend wasn't actually a bad person.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him. That includes me.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you,
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before...
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now. Huh. This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. Isn't that Neuvillette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case.
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important, but Mr. Callus proved me utterly, if not for his sacrifice. The serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, a justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my...
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing? Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so...
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
We ran into Navia on the streets today. today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're—
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea.
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then—
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. Is there anything else you'd like to— That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good? Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before—
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant, and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me? My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
So when Linny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored—
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
All right, you've... Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. Yep, there's the room, and it's empty and waiting for us as promised. Now that the serial disappearances case has been solved, no one's going to come after us for anything. Even without Silver standing guard, we can just completely relax. Why don't we stay and rest up here for a while? Even machines in Fontaine need to stop and recharge now and then. Oh, come on! This place isn't that bad. Besides, how often do we get to stay in an actual base? Oh, fine. Remember that detective story Paimon read before? Well, the author is about to release a new book, so Paimon wanted to buy it as soon as it came out and have a quiet place to read it. Then it's agreed. Come on, let's get some sleep. We'll need to be up first thing in the morning to get in line. Paimon didn't expect that style at all. Even though it's a detective novel, it's also like a social documentary. No! Paimon just spends a bit more time sleeping than you, that's all.
Excuse me, but do you know if the Traveler and Paimon are lodging here?
Huh? Who are you? Paimon doesn't recall seeing you before.
A blonde traveler and a chatty little fairy. Whew, looks like I found the place. Good thing I asked the Spina di Rosula. Seems they sent me the right way.
Hey, what do you mean by chatty? Paimon's always careful not to talk too much.
It's an honor to meet you both. I was sent from the Palais Mermonia. Monsieur Neuvillette wishes to see you. It seems he has something important to discuss in person.
Neuvillette? He wants to see us again already? Huh. We talked so much the last time we met. Has something...
I am not privy to the details. It would be best if you came to the Palais Mermonia and asked Monsieur Neuvillette in person.
If you say so, but...
Now that I've delivered the message, I'll take my leave.
Thanks! We haven't left the room for a few days, so we'll head over once we've freshened up a bit.
You have to think before you act.
Yes, I did send someone to fetch you. But as for what I'd like to discuss next, well, I still have some reservations.
Given that we've already made the trip here, you should just tell us. Bet you need us to help you with something, right?
I do indeed have something I'd like to ask you to do. However, you should wait until after I tell you the details, then decide for yourselves whether the situation is... If I'm understanding you correctly, the Snezhnayan harbinger known as the Knave has essentially requested a diplomatic meeting with you, correct? I heard that she was originally from Fontaine, but for her to suddenly arrive here and abruptly request such a meeting like this, I sincerely advise you to refuse her invitation outright. I'm sure you're aware that her purpose is most likely related to Child's recent predicament. We convicted one of the Snezhnayan harbingers in a court of law, but we have yet to provide any form of detailed report on the matter. This does indeed provide an opportunity for Snezhnaya to put pressure on us. I believe we should adopt an evasive stance until we can provide a proper explanation and have a preliminary plan on how to deal with the matter.
No, we shouldn't. I think we should agree to the meeting.
Oh?
Well, you see, we are the ones that owe an explanation. If we keep putting off the meeting, it's like a fight between two friends. If they don't agree to see each other and talk in person...
Though diplomatic relations between Fontaine and Snezhnaya could be considered as friendly, it is only superficially so. You wouldn't go so far as to say that our nations are friends.
It was just an analogy. An analogy, okay?
Moreover, even if we were to talk in person, if we don't have sufficient information prepared, it is quite possible the result wouldn't be restored relations.
I don't think we should overthink those possibilities yet. Even if the logic of the divine is not immediately apparent, its wisdom will only be revealed with time. Besides, you'll be at the meeting. If any problems do pop up, you'll have no problem navigating them.
I must clarify that interacting and communicating with people outside of court is not my cup of tea. But more importantly, when did I agree to join the meeting with you?
You mean you won't come? No, that won't do. I can't go to the meeting alone. You have to accompany me. I must take you with...
Lady Farina, could there be something else regarding this matter that is being kept from me?
No, not at all. Look, I am the Hydro-Archon of Fontaine, Focalor, the god of justice who is loved and adored by many. So I only hope that justice will be served in this matter. Don't overthink it. I'll go find someone to arrange the meeting.
Though it could officially be considered a diplomatic conference, I prefer to see our meeting today as an ordinary tea party. I assume you see it the same way, Miss Farina? Lady Farina?
Yes, that's right. Just like you said, a tea party. To make this tea party even more lively, I've invited someone else to join us today.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Monsieur Neuvillette. I was born in Fontaine, so naturally, there's no need to introduce the nation's revered Eudex to me.
Hello. The pleasure is also mine.
First, I would like to thank the two of you. I'm often away on business outside of Fontaine, and I'm told that the children of the House of the Hearth have been well taken care of by... Oh, I'm not referring to when my children, Linny and Lynette, were falsely accused by you. Please don't misunderstand. The children of the House of the Hearth are often misunderstood, perhaps due to the reputation of the Fatui. There's no getting around that. All I meant to say is that Fontaine has been stable in recent years. The people are well off and the children lead happy, fulfilled lives. That is something truly worth cherishing, and no one wishes to disrupt such...
Now then, You have come regarding the matter of Child, correct?
Well, yes. It appears the ever-busy Iudex Nuvilette doesn't wish to waste time with diplomatic pleasantries. Yes, as you surmised, understanding Child's situation is indeed one of the goals of this trip. As we are both diplomats from Snezhnaya as well as Fatui Harbingers, Child and I have always been colleagues. Were anything to happen in Fontaine, each of us would serve as the other's attorney to resolve the issue. So now, in my capacity as his attorney, I request that Child be turned over to Snezhnaya. We have a responsibility to cooperate with Fontaine and resolve what has happened to him together.
The rules governing attorneys only apply before a trial has concluded. Since a verdict has already been rendered, we see the case as settled. I apologize for being unable to grant your request.
An outright refusal. Very well. I respect all the rules of Fontaine's courts, just as I respect you as Chief Justice. Okay, why don't we back up a step? You don't need to transfer Child to us. I only request to enter the fortress of Meripede to see Child, and... It's not like you couldn't even manage to fulfill a simple request like that.
The fortress of Meripede has always been completely autonomous. Even we have no authority to interfere there, and diplomatic issues do not suffice as an excuse. However, if you absolutely must confirm the situation of the Harbinger, I have a proposal.
The knave showed up already? Well, Lenny did say that Father will be returning soon. We didn't even know that Lenny was from the House of the Hearth at the time, so we kinda overlooked that information.
Yes, thank you for your kind advice. I also noticed that Lady Farina acts a little odd and unnatural whenever I bring up matters related to the knave.
Could the knave be threatening Lady Farina or something?
If that were the case, then why wouldn't Lady Farina inform me? And what means could the knave possibly have to twist the arm of an Archon?
So maybe that's not very likely. Even though Farina can act a little weird at times,
In reality, this problem is even more thorny than it appears. According to reports from the fortress of Meripede, Child recently disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The details are still unclear. We cannot rule out an escape, but there have also been no reports of him outside of the fortress of Meripede. Special guards oversee the fortress, and its internal systems are extensive. Combined with the special characteristics of the surrounding terrain, an escape should not be possible. I suspect that there's something else behind Child's disappearance. I was only willing to share this information with you because you are friends of Child, and it is my duty to see justice done.
So this is what you wanted to see us about before?
Yes. I would like you to go to the fortress of Meripede and investigate Child's disappearance. This was my proposal during our meeting with the knave. Rather than allowing her to intervene, I offered to send someone to find out about Child's situation and report back to her in detail. The knave did not seem satisfied by my proposal, but she still agreed to go along with it for the time being. Her words were, "We will talk more once we have that report."
So that means we bought ourselves some time!
Firstly, you're already acquainted with Child. Your eyes may discern relevant details there that others would miss. And secondly, is the consideration of the unique nature of the fortress of Meripede.
Isn't it just Fontaine's prison?
I would not define it so crudely. The fortress of Meripede is not affiliated with the court system of Fontaine on paper. Early in Fontaine's history, criminals were punished with exile, not imprisonment. Even today, sentences against convicted criminals still include exile, just as the fortress of Meripede may seem like a prison, but it should in fact be regarded as a gathering place for exiles. All we do is dispatch guards to keep watch and help maintain security, but we have no right to get involved with any other matters. Although I do have a personal relationship with the administrator there, neither myself nor the courts have the right to be directly involved with the investigation.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! That's why you need us to conduct our own investigation as a—
Correct. I will arrange false charges against you so that you may secretly investigate inside the fortress during your detention. So, are you two willing to accept my proposal?
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, it seems we're the best choice. Alright, we hereby accept this difficult task.
You two have my sincere thanks. This matter is of critical importance to Fontaine's current situation. Also, I hope that both of you can keep this operation a secret. We will rendezvous at the Fortress of Merope's entrance on Irenaeus once you've prepared yourselves. I will arrange for someone to take you inside.
Prepared ourselves?
Perhaps you could enjoy a good meal and have a nice bath. I'm afraid that living conditions inside the fortress are nothing like those on the outside world.
Oh, right! Even though we'll be there on trumped-up charges, we'll be in prison for real. On second thought, is it too late to back out?
Please do not worry. Since you are sacrificing both your time and quality of life for the sake, you will be compensated according to the highest standards permitted to legal staff, regardless of the outcome.
Now that's more like it! Come on, traveler, let's go eat the best meal we can find! We'll eat so much that we won't need to eat another meal for a whole month!
Are you leaving now? In that case, please take this cake as a token of my personal gratitude.
Pretty good. But as soon as Paimon remembered that we were about to go to prison, Paimon's stomach suddenly became completely empty. Now that Paimon thinks about it, we've always been super careful ever since we arrived in Fontaine. But here we are, about to willingly send ourselves off to the Fortress of Meropede. Let's just try our best to investigate everything quickly once we get there.
Oh, what is that I hear? Is it the taste of a breaking story?
Hey! You can't hear a taste! And what are you doing here, Charlotte?
Oh, don't remind me. I invited an eyewitness to a case to eat here, and I was planning to get some great material. Calm down, calm down. This is nothing new. As a journalist, you should be used to this by now. And as long as you can score some juicy tidbits from the traveler, you might still be able to recover the cost of the meal.
You know we can still hear you, Charlotte.
Never mind. It's nothing. I just heard you mention the Fortress of Meropede.
No way! We would never! We're just going there to, Oh no, Paimon almost forgot that Neverlet told us to keep it a secret!
Huh? You're being arrested for that? Oh. But now that I think about it, I suppose that's not completely unreasonable.
You mean Paimon really did something that serious? Sorry, Paimon really messed up.
Well, in that case, it's nothing particularly newsworthy after all. Oh, how disappointing. Oh, right, there's still a chance. Since you're going to be at the Fortress of Meropede...
About that, Paimon doesn't think we'll have any time.
Oh, it's nothing difficult. All you have to do is think of a way to get some time face-to-face with the warden of the fortress. He was awarded the honorary title of Duke in Fontaine. Sounds really cool, huh? Only those who have made significant contributions to the nation have been conferred this title. It's incredibly rare.
On top of that, the Fortress of Meripede has never been under the jurisdiction of the courts. Practically nobody, including journalists like me. Oh, if I could write an exclusive article about him, I bet it would sell a boatload of papers.
You make it sound easy, but...
Of course, I wouldn't ask you to do it for free. So this meal is on me.
Alright, you got a deal. We'll do anything you want.
Then it's settled. The food should be here any second, right? Huh? Wait, just how much did you order?
I'm so full. Well, guess we have nothing to regret now, so let's get going!
It's written